Good day. If you live in Tehran, a city of 10 million people, you will not be having a good time now. American President Donald Trump has just tweeted that everybody who lives in Tehran should evacuate Tehran. This obviously is a great indication that America is about to join the bombing of this ancient city. Already, several military assets of America has been moving into military bases, American military bases around the Middle East and even some in Europe. And today that they had a G7 meeting in Canada, President Trump has moved back to America to coordinate what possibly is going to be the start of the American involvement in the Israeli-Iran war. Welcome to my channel, Ebima Amungo's perspective on global affairs. These are interesting times, and this possibly may be the days that people will say Third World War started. Because just as we are taught that American President Donald Trump was going to be a president who was going to come and prefer peace to the world, he apparently has been captured by the American class of politicians called the neocons. Maybe the images of Iran's vicious bombing of Israel and Tel Aviv has forced the Israeli lobby to impress upon Trump that he should take action. They may have pressured him so much because let's not forget that the Israeli lobby is the most powerful lobby in America. The Israeli lobby is the only lobby in America that is not registered under the Foreign Agents Act. No other organization representing another country is not registered under the Foreign Agents Act, only Israel. And the current events going on now in the Middle East between Israel and Iran may have forced the hand of the Israeli lobby, powerful as everybody knows, and the neocons, people who have always believed in American hegemony, to impress upon President Trump to take action. So contrary to being a peace president that President Trump has put himself forward to be, we're going to see the escalation of a war that started out as an Israeli attack on Iran, now becoming a joint Israeli and American attack on Iran. I had earlier put out a video today that I had said that we really don't know where this war is going to lead. Wars have a way of starting off in a very organized way, but ending up in an disorganized way. This particular war has a stated aim of destroying Iran's nuclear weapon systems. We really don't know what Iran has, but it has already been said that all of Iran's nuclear weapon systems, all the systems that they are using to enrich nuclear materials are deep underground. So obviously what America wants to bring is the firepower of the American firepower to be able to destroy those facilities. So if President Trump joins in this bombing campaign, we don't know if it will be a short one, a long one. Either it's a campaign to take out the regime, decapitate the regime, destroy Iran, whatever it is. If America involves itself in this war, it will change the global dynamics. I want to think and fear that gloves will be off. America has never been at the start of all the global the wars that we knew, that's World War I and World War II. America joined those wars late. The belligerents usually tended to be the Europeans. And it was the Europeans who would start the war and call to America. That happened in World War I, and that also happened in World War II. But if this war escalates to involve not only regional partners, but global partners, as we expect it would, then President Trump will be the first American president who is going to be at the cups of a global crisis, a world war. This is a departure from so many points in history. Of course, we know that America has had bombing campaigns against other countries before, but they have done it under the framework of NATO, or they have done it with an ally. In this case here now, it was President Trump who broke off an agreement signed by President Obama between Iran and several other countries to curtail Iran's nuclear enrichment program. That agreement was overturned by President Trump in his 45th presidency. And that agreement is at the crux of what has made Iran to become recalcitrant about having its own enrichment program. Now, Trump has come back and is saying that he wants them to have an agreement where they pledge that they will not have two things. One, any form of enrichment of nuclear materials. And then two, they will not have a ballistic missile program. The ballistic missile program that Iran has shown their competence in has devastated Tel Aviv, shaking Tel Aviv to a point that has never been seen in the past 80 years of Israeli independence. And let us understand one thing. Countries like Israel and America are countries that are made up of people from several places. For the Israelis, they're made up primarily of Jews who had to flee Russia and Hungary and most of the European countries and settle in Israel. Some of them settled in America, and some settled in Europe, and settled in London. But what has happened in this 100 years or a century of their being in new places is that they've developed and become very influential. They are now wealthy. The finance industry in America is controlled to a large extent by the Jewish lobby. They control vast parts of the American economy. And that has given them influence. So now they buy political influence all across the world. So the Jewish lobby is very powerful. And the fact that Israel and America are countries with people who come from places that they are aggrieved, they are unhappy, they felt they were persecuted, they tend to have grudge against those places. It is for that reason you will still see a large amount of former Russians, people from Israelis from the Soviet bloc who still hold grudges against the Soviets, against Russia, and they always take part in attempts to try to undermine the Russian state, as was found recently through this attempt to destroy Russia's strategic bombers. The same thing too happens too with Iran. Iran is a country where America has had two previous interventions in. One, when they removed an elected president, prime minister in the 50s and replaced him with a Shah. And when that Shah was chased out by the Islamic Revolution, they have continued to have aggrieved Iranians who want to overthrow this regime that has been there for 40 years now. So it's always, Iran has always been in a focal point of American politics. One, for those people who want to destroy Iran, change the government, and replace it with probably the Shah or descendants of the Shah. And for those who also want to take down a regional competitor to Israel on the Israeli lobby's part. So this desire to destroy Iran has been long in coming. But now the world has changed. Iran, India, Pakistan, and China are great supporters of Iran. We don't know how this is going to play out. America may achieve its outcomes in the near term. They did that with the Taliban in Afghanistan. They destroyed a large part of the Taliban infrastructure, political infrastructure, and chased them all into the mountains of Peshawar. But ultimately, they lost after a 10-year campaign. In this campaign against Iran, there's not going to be a ground force campaign. That can't possibly happen because no American politician will support the invasion of Iran using ground forces, Americans will start coming back in body bags. And that's not something that even a reckless president like President Biden wanted to see. It damages the psyche of America to see Americans being killed and being sent back. So it's not going to happen. What we are going to see here is a bombing and destruction of the infrastructure of Iran, a relentless bombing. But like I had said in my previous video, it doesn't take much for Iran to do permanent and irreversible damage to the Trump presidency. All they will need to do is to focus a missile barrage against one of those aircraft carriers and possibly sink it. And when that happens, Trump will struggle. He will really struggle because let's not forget that Trump has powerful enemies in America. The Democratic Party is in disarray, but they still are a party that can still challenge him. There's a midterm election that will soon come up. It will just sneak up on Americans. And if by any means Iran sinks one or two ships, even possibly disables one of those aircraft carriers, it will be game over for Trump. It's a big gamble he's taking. But that is on the part of the Iranians. What of the Russians? They have a strategic alliance, and they may find this attack on Iran as an existential threat to them. What if the Russians give the Iranians access to Oreshnik? All gloves are off, because now the Russians have already contained the Ukrainians. They have defeated NATO, and all the resources that America used to throw behind Ukraine is not available to Ukraine anymore. Trump has moved them to the Middle East and is now trying to use them to challenge Iran. If this is a good move or if this is a bad move, only time will tell. What we know is that there will be pain, there will be destruction of a lot of things in Iran, but I doubt if the Iranian people will be cowed. Iran has been on this path before, let's not forget. This same America, in conjunction with Saddam Hussein's Iraq, attacked Iran, and there was an 8-year war, a long war that led to the destruction and death of a lot of people in Iran. They've been through being attacked, and they were resilient. They're resilient and sturdy people. They survived. They get strengthened by war. Every country gets strengthened by war. We all see it now. So now we have a situation where Pakistan may be slow, but they're partners to America. They depend on America for a lot of things, but they form closer relationships with China these days. China has become the source of alternatives for people. Prior to now, no country could go anywhere to look for any other thing apart from in the West. But now, if you want a fighter jet that can match anything in the West, you go to China. We just saw that when Pakistan used its J-10 and P-15 missiles to just take out Rafale planes out of the skies of India. The Indians don't want to tell us the full amount of the damages they suffered. But these were Chinese military hardware, and everybody knows it. So for now, we now see that China has become an alternative to so many things. And if this war may have started with an Israeli competence and capacity in drone warfare, but what if the Chinese start giving drones to the Iranians? Because we know no country comes close to China when it comes to drones. If you see, while the West is still doing lightning displays and fireworks displays during periods of festivities, the Chinese do drone displays, amazing drone displays. And drone swarms is something they are very good at. So besides that, the big drones like the ones that America has, the Reaper drones and all those other drones that they have, the Chinese have their own equivalent too that they can give to the Iranians. So the Iranian program that the Americans want to destroy and use the excuse of destroying that program may go dark. They will start not saying that they want to do it anymore. But now, Russia and China may see the relevance of giving Iran the bomb. They may see the relevance of cooperating with Russia, with Iran to get a bomb, because let's not forget, China helped Pakistan to get a bomb, just as the same way as America helped under Lyndon Johnson helped Israel to get the bomb. We all know this is the Israeli lobby helped to put Lyndon Johnson there, and Lyndon Johnson's own role was to look away while Israel was making the bomb. But it's not just the fact that Israel could made the bomb. It was the fact that a lot of ex-Soviet scientists moved from Soviet Union, nuclear scientists, and helped Russia to develop that. Israel to develop the bomb. But it was the fact that the Americans supported or looked away while they developed this bomb. But it's not now, for some reasons, just geopolitical reasons. Russia may not be involved in helping them to look after the bomb. Russia has even offered that they will intermediate and they will help to take away the fissile, the enriched materials, and keep custody of them. For the past few months of his presidency, Donald Trump has been trying to form good relationships with Putin, possibly because he wants to go after Iran. But you should remember that Joe Biden has made Iran and Russia to become very tight and close friends. All the fears they had long ago has been dispelled. Now they find out that there's mutual benefit to themselves because they are mutually attacked by the same enemy, America. So, and with the double face that Trump has been showing in the past few days, it seems unlikely that President Putin would want to even continue engaging with him. It's good to keep a window of diplomacy, but the way we are looking at it, Putin may not take Trump's words for what it is anymore, and he has nothing to lose already. He has been sanctioned. No sanction you do against him will hurt for more than what it is already, and he may have to take decisive actions. Now he's containing Ukraine. They've put Ukraine at a point where they are slowly overrunning the Ukrainians and achieving their outcomes there. They will achieve it, not even if America gets involved in it, they will still achieve it. America has one perennial fear: dead bodies coming back home. And these days, war has been shown that you can't fight it from a distance the way it used to be. Even if Iran's defense systems do not match those of Russia, Russia's own have been shown to be very formidable. And if you attack Russia and Russia becomes aware that this is a war, that there will be gloves off. There will be you can't say you are shooting from a NATO country like Finland or Romania and get away with it. So this is where we are at now. We are at a point where it's very certain and very obvious that World War III is almost starting. World War III is just about coalition of allies and Axis groups on one side. In this particular case here, due to Trump's actions prior, he has eliminated NATO. NATO is not particularly involved in this project. So it is now an Israeli-American project on one hand. And then it's going to be an Iranian and Russian, Chinese, and Pakistani action on the other. We already have started to hear that the Afghans may take part in it, but I really don't know what kind of relationship Afghanistan and Iran has. But these are neighboring countries, so it will be in their best interest. They also have a common enemy. Don't forget that the Taliban fought with the Americans for a long time, and they have expertise in dealing with the Americans. So this is where we are now. Donald Trump has given us World War III. It is a certainty that if he bombs this campaign, he will lose. America and Israel are going to lose this campaign. Statedly, no doubt about it. They will achieve the euphoria of bombing in this instance. They will destroy a lot of things in Iran. But what will happen ultimately is that all it takes is for Iran to just get one ship, one frigate that will bring bodies back to America. And Donald Trump will lose the midterm and he will lose his potency as a president. The president who sees himself as close to being a king now, very authoritative. He sees himself as a powerful president. But who knows if this may just be the one strategic move he's going to make that may sink him. Thank you for being with me to this point in my video. This has been Ebima Mungo's perspective on global affairs. If you like the comments I have made, or if you have any opinions about what I've said, leave it in the comment section. If you like, then you should press the like button and share. Until I see you again in my next video, this is me for today. Bye.